Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hey, Raj. Cisco, what's up, brother? How's life in paradise? All good? Aloha Friday. Oh, I remember it well. Oh, hey, Raj. How you doing, brother? Hey, AZS. What's going on? Welcome to everyone on YouTube. Welcome to the room. Welcome to the tradingsyndicate.org. I'm JJ. And this is our Globex session for Friday, the 22nd of August. Wow. So we blinked and August went right by. Hey, Travis, what's going on? How's the West Coast? Lonigan, what's going on? What's up, Doc? How are you? Oh, well, we got some liquidation. That's good. We were kind of stuck in yesterday's value area. Now we're a little bit out of it. And overnight inventory is mixed. It's a very slow night. We're inside yesterday's range. Getting a little liquidation now. Hey, London Futures Trader, welcome. Hey, Juan, Dan. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Hang on, gotta sneeze. One sec. Oh boy. So, let's see what we've got. Once again, inside days are rotational days, which means we just rotate inventory back and forth because nothing's going to happen. And then the Jackson Hole folks do their thing. So, it'll probably be slow and rotational. So, we have a way to trade that. And if you are short, we just did, I drew these levels out and I've got 86 to 89 and a half. Double it down to 79. We just did a little look below and fail of 79, but I'd like to see if we get continuation. Mr. Simpson, what's going on? You guys are all changing your names, or is that a different Mr. Simpson? Because usually we have OJ Simpson on these streams. So right now what I'm looking for is this K period that's, does it take out the J low? Does it take out our low here? Open up my trading account. Double bottom. A little bit of competitive buying here. All right. I'm in no rush to transact. Let it sort of So I do the same setup every morning, the same process. You know, I go and look and see where the inventory is, and then I'll draw my balance zones and just sit back and watch. And we're kind of stuck. Hey, John. How are you doing? How are things in Thailand? Let's see. Hey, Jerry, what's going on? Deeks, how are you? How do you see where the inventory is? Great question. So, the simple way to do it is you look at the market profile, you look at the close from the previous day, okay? Right now, inventory is about 50-50, right? But if inventory was long, it would be above the close. If it's short, it'd be below the close. It's really that simple. You see that? So if we go back and we look at other profiles, here you see a close and then the inventory is short. See that? See a close and then inventory is short. If inventory is above the close, if the trading's above the close, we say inventory's long. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's really very simple stuff. London Futures Trader. I would appreciate if you would DM me and let me know what your intentions are before you go doing stuff like that. Thank you, I'd appreciate it. I have no idea who you are. Thank you. Taking out the lower stops, we're looking for yesterday's low at 63.70 and change. The Globex open is, yeah, 4 p.m. Chicago time, 6 p.m. You can DM me on X, man. I'm vwaptrader1 on X. Right? DM me there. Yep. Hey, Trademaker, how you doing? So we're looking for the low. It's not unusual in rotational markets to go test the previous day low. If you're short, basically in a situation like this, if you're short, you're waiting for the market to find a bid, and that's where you're going to cover. Okay? So, one of the more likely places when we break into a new zone is the middle of it, right? And if we take out yesterday's low, the next structural target will be 63.65, right? So this is a nice trade if you are already short. Each of the profiles, so this profile that you're looking at, Willie, is the overnight session from 6 p.m. This is yesterday's previous session, RTH, and this is the previous day's session in RTH. Yeah, I am actually been very lazy trade maker, and I am not biased at all. So I'm, which is nice because I have no idea what to expect. It's nice kind of being open-minded, and I'll know when we get down to this previous day low, see if we hold. See, there's the middle right there. We broke the middle. Let's see if we take out yesterday's low. As you can see, it's very thin. There's a break of yesterday's. Now, do we do a look below and fail? Or do we do a look below and go? Right? It's always nice when the market's putting in a low just to be curious instead of opinionated and let the large traders, as you can see, there's not a lot of volume on the way down, right? 46, 85, 19, there's not much size down there, so the bids are thin, right? Does that help you, Willie? So my profile charts show all regular trading hours except the very last overnight session. Yeah, 35, 65 worked. What was our low? 65 quarter, I had 65. That's where that stop is. So let's see if it holds that level. If you were short, that's a beautiful short because it just, that was like a 1992 short where it just fell apart. There was no short covering in that short at all, right? Very different price action than we're used to seeing. Usually in this market, when you get a sell-off, it sells and sticks and sells and sticks. This time it just kind of flowed. It just boom, 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 lower, right? So now let's see if we get a look below and fail of 65. Let the large traders. Let's see if we get any short covering now. How do you tell short covering? Well, you'll see size printing at the lows, right? You'll see those size short sellers coming in and covering. It's a nice, beautiful trade. Good call, Doc. Looking for that lower price action about half an hour ago. Right? And if you are looking for a long, just leave it the hell alone until you see some price stability, okay? You don't have to transact until you see price stability. Don't try and catch a bottom. Okay. Hey, John, what's going on? Let's try a little 66 long here. Put an offer out at 67 and a half. I'm long one at 66. I didn't get taken at 67 and a half, so I sold it at 67 and a quarter. I hit the bid. Okay, just a little scalp. If we hold 65, we'll look for some price stability. There's some there's some. Do you see the size coming in? That's short covering, folks. There you go. Right? Took that long again at 66. Selling 68. Couple of points here, a couple of points there. Right? You'll be looking for sellers at 72 if we accept. Oh, sorry, the previous day is low is right here. So let's see if there'll be a seller there. Right? And if you're still long, like I was long, I sold a little early. I always sell into strength. I like to clip in and out. You're looking for sellers at around 70 and a quarter. That's a little price stability here. Nice trade, Doc. Well done. Nice work. Now let's see if we accept back in yesterday's range. Good liquidation. That was a really nice liquidation. Didn't take out the low from 2 days ago. Right, we've got some size coming in. That's some nice short covering. And if we reclaim the previous day's low, right, if you're going long, wait till, we get up over 71. And you're looking for, there'll be sellers up here at around 74, 75. Right? It might go back and forth over 70 for a little bit here before it cleans it out. But it's very thin on the way down, so it could rip back up just as quick. Okay? Be aware of that. If you are short and you haven't covered, and it's reclaiming yesterday's low, that is information that you will need. right? So long 71, right? Offered 73 quarter. I'm long 2 at 71. Out 1 at 72 and 3 quarter. I'm just scalping them, right? I'm offered for 1 at 73 and a quarter and see if I get out of that last one. Flat, right? So just in, out, sell into strength. Nice trade, Howard. You don't have to catch both sides, but that's good. I didn't get the short, so I took the long, you know. Chop it up into small, right? Digestible chunks, right? Now, once again, before you guys all go and try and hold trades like the doc, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's wonderful, but you want to get some experience before you do that, okay? Just be smart about it, folks. We're looking for sellers at 74. That's not bad trading. Usually London is I was kind of thinking it was going to be a slow morning, but this is not bad. Not bad at all. There's 74 and there's the seller, just like we said there would be, right? If we clean out the 75s and you're scalping long, these are the areas of interest. Okay. I don't get how you know it's going higher with your scalp. I thought it was going to reverse. What did I see? Well, Omen, you got to watch the offer, my friend. You see this red line, right? Well, one very common trade is a look below and fail of the previous day low, okay? Because when you break a previous day low, the short sellers come in and cover. Do you notice something here? I'll show you. Do you see the size on the way down? There's not much volume, right? And I told you guys that there's not much volume on the way down. And then all of a sudden I started seeing volume here. That's short covering. So I know that there's competitive buying and they're starting to push price up. So the first trade was a look below and fail of this level. The second trade was a look below and fail of 70. So I took the 71s, right? And I'm just scalping long, right? And do you know why I see things, Omen? The reason I see things is because when I first started doing this, I couldn't trade my way out of a wet paper bag as a retail trader. So instead of blowing up accounts and needlessly just losing money for no reason at all, I sat and watched. I was lucky because I would take contract work with investor relations stuff for public companies, and then I'd have a profile chart up on a screen. And I was very lucky in that I had a friend of mine whose mother said, trade my money. She's a wealthy woman in Europe, and she said, you trade my money. So when I was doing that, I told her, listen, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you mind if I just sit and watch? And she said, yeah, go ahead. I said, I can do two things. I can lose all your money, or I can sit and watch and actually figure this out. So she was an intelligent woman, and she said, yeah, why don't you just sit and figure this out? Why blow up, because she had a couple of $100 grand with me. I said, I don't want to lose all your money. So I lost about $600, $700, and I thought, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna just stop, right? London Futures Trader, I'm not gonna read your message during a live YouTube stream, brother. Like, just take it easy, okay? I will read your message, okay? But I'm kind of on a live YouTube stream right now. I'm trying to help people with their trading. I really appreciate it if you chill out. Thanks. And other folks who are on YouTube, please ask questions, right? You know, we're here to learn, right? You know, try to teach people, right? Okay? Just chill, okay? So I sat and watched, right? I sat and watched. I sat and watched for months without taking trades. Now, I know a lot of people will think that that's, you know, ridiculous. But when you actually sit and watch and you make notes and you actually enjoy the process of observation, right? Just like a scientist, when they do an experiment, they're not tied to the outcome of the experiment, right? So I kind of used that scientific method and I just sat and watched. And I started noticing little subtleties like, oh, where are the sellers? Where do they stop selling? Right? Do the balance zones work? And I started putting things together, right? And because I come from the school of thought that it's not okay to blow up accounts. It's not okay to take massive losses. Because if you do that where I come from, you're fired. So it's unacceptable to have all these excuses that people use, right, to lose money, right? So, and I was lucky enough to have somebody who I was trading for who said, yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, don't lose my money, right? And I took my ego out of it, right? Because it's very hard for a trader to say they don't know what's going on, right? It hurts your ego because in this world, everybody is supposed to know exactly what's going on at all times and be able to call out the high and low and bang on their chest and say they made all this money. And that's how people lose fortunes because they let their ego dictate their business plan, right? They either let their ego or they let their fear dictate their business plan, right? So I broke with that tradition. And I said, you know what? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Let's try and figure this out. And just sit and watch. And when you sit and watch with no attachment to outcome, you will be blown away by how much you actually observe that's useful when you're actually trading, right? I know it sounds hokey, but it works, right? It's not popular, because this is an industry where people like to bang on their ego, bang on your chest and go, look how great I am, right? There you go. Nice work, right? Now, after you observe things, you're going to get what I call a database of price action. You'll start retaining this information. You'll start getting comfortable with the price action. You'll start knowing when to trade, when not to trade, right? Because all retail traders, and I'm guilty of it too, have traded at the wrong time, and that's how you lose money, right? Right? Does that help? So those 77 sellers are still there, right? That's how I can tell where the sellers are going to be when we go back up. Because you sit and watch, right? Let's see. So London opens, there's a small set of single prints here, which is, these are supply single prints, right? So if we run out of supply, we'll go up through this little area. Yeah, let's go test the lows. See how we're running out of supply? The offer is lifting. Still two single prints left, right? They're filled. So we ran out of supply. We cleaned out the sellers at that level, right? We had sellers at this level, and when London opened, we cleaned them out because London found the bid right here, right? Now, I'm not saying don't trade. I'm saying try and sit and watch so you can actually learn what you're doing before you just start throwing money around, right? Spend some time. The other thing I'm looking for that overnight point of control to move down. But so far, we ran out of supply pretty quick. It's almost like we had one large set of orders. Those orders are completed. The market rotates back up. This is a classic textbook look below and fail. So that's okay. If you miss the short, that's fine. You can take the responsive long or take the responsive long and cut that big trade up into 2 or 3 trades if you want. If you're learning, you can do the look below and fail. You can do this trade. You can, take the trade of the previous day low reclaim. So you don't have to put all that pressure on yourself to make 30 points in a trade, right? You can take those 30 points and cut them into 3 or 4 trades, right? When you're first learning. Once you get more comfortable with price action and managing positions and managing risk, then you can hold trades longer. Like Doc's been with me since the beginning of the room, right? And it's taken him a long time. Like he didn't just start trading and start holding trades for like 3 hours, right? He's gone through the spanking machine multiple times before he figured it out, right? So take your time, right? Don't put pressure on yourself to trade and make money. Put pressure on yourself to be disciplined. Put pressure on yourself to follow process, to build an intelligent business plan, right? You know, those are the important things. Looking for 83 now, the next stop up, right? Humility is the best risk management, Louis, right? Humility is the best risk management. And if you're not humble, the market will make you humble pretty damn quick. It's like one of my buddies, when we first started, he was on a desk and I was on another desk at different firms. He took a short once and he had a great short during the week. It was a beautiful trade. He didn't close it on Friday. He had all this cash in his account, but it wasn't in his bank account. Went to the Mercedes dealership Friday, bought a brand new Mercedes. We partied all weekend. Monday pre-market, the stock gapped up. Compliance bought him in, and I had to give him a ride home from the Mercedes dealership because he had to return the car. It was a good weekend, though. Once again, humility. Don't spend the money until it's in your bank account. uh, we all learn. We all learn the hard way. Right. That's okay, AZS. Well done. So we took that 83 stop. So now a lot of people will ask, was that news? It could have been news, right, that took us down. But it was just a few small orders that took the market down. Now, those of you who are into volume analysis, if you go and look at the volume on the way down, there wasn't a lot. And now we're back into that. No kidding, right, Willie? It's a thin book, especially at this time of night in the U.S., you know? Globex is usually thin. And we probably caught a lot of people short underneath 75 too, right? Because a lot of, people shorted underneath that previous day low and then added to it at 75. And that cover, when they go to cover, that's what pushes us up to 82. Oh, it was a nice little move. Overnight trading can be really nice, Willie, because it's slow. It's all about moving inventory. And what I like about the overnight trading, because I'm in the UK, we'll be looking for 86 now, is that the nice thing about Globex trading, Globex is from 6 p.m. New York time to 9:30 the next day. So the Globex session allows large traders to either get rid of inventory if they're long or acquire inventory if they're short. And it allows us to take nice to make a little bit of money before, right? Yeah, we get to make a little money, Dan, before the RTH Open. I like doing some trades in Globex to make a bit of money, so it takes that edge off the open, right? Because when the market opens, everybody feels pressure that they have to make money. If you've made some money before the 9 o'clock, 9:30 U.S. Open, it it takes the edge off. You can kind of relax. You've made a little bit of money, so you can sit back, watch the market, be a little bit more intelligent in the decisions you make, right? You never want to be trading. Here's the thing, a desperate trader is a dead trader, right? You guys remember Bonfire of the Vanities with Tom Wolfe, right? Sherman McCoy. A desperate salesman is a dead salesman. A desperate trader is a dead trader. You never want to trade desperate, right? Right? And the main thing is, here's the thing, Willie, we don't have to get all wound up in all that stuff. Interesting information, but how do you make money from it? You just want a trade setup, right? People just want to learn how to make a little bit of scratch so they can pay their bills, right? So where's the trade setup? A nice look below and fail of 65, right? Up to 72, that's a nice trade, right? Look below and fail of 79 up to 86, 85, right? Another nice little trade, right? You know, there's in the retail trading community, there's so much double talk and stuff about things that will not make you any money. And it's just talking and talking and talking and talking. Get a trade set up, learn how to watch the market, exercise some business discipline, keep it simple, right? If the trade is not clear and simple and there's no clear business reason for the trade, don't take the trade. If you're in the trade and the business reason for the trade goes away, get the hell out of the trade, right? There's 86. We're short by a tick, right? I'm sure you folks are sick and tired of hearing all this double talk and not making any money. It's so frustrating, you know? I know it drives me nuts. When I was learning how to trade, you listen to some guy and they'd be going on and on and on and be like, well, where do you put your trade? Why do you put your trade there? Why do you put your stop there? They could never tell you, right? And that's what I do at the trading syndicate. Come give us come join the room for a month and we'll teach you how to trade in a practical manner, right? No double talk, no indicators, no, you know, stuff you can't understand. This is why you take the trade. This is where you manage your risk. And this is when you trade. This is when you don't trade. Right? Simple. It's not a complicated business. We've overcomplicated it so people keep spending money on stuff so we can keep taking the money away. Trading education is not regulated, so any nutcase can come along and say that they're an educator. You know, some of these trading rooms they're charging $500 a month, $400 a month, three. It's just crazy, right? Are you making that? Probably not, right? We'll teach you actually how to earn a living, right? So if you're just tired of all the BS, drop me a direct message, right? Come into the room. It's less than $1 a day. Use the discount code and DM me when you're in the room. We'll chat and I'll, see how I can help you out. Yeah, that was a good. There you got your V-shaped reversal, right? There's so many scammers out there, Howard. Yeah. That's true, Alexander. Oh boy. Well, now we can all go back to sleep. I don't know, folks. I'm ready for the weekend. Are you not? I am ready for this weekend. Hey, Luke, how you doing? Oh, right now, ASSI, they're distributing. So all the inventory that they picked up under 68, under 72, they're selling it now at 85, 84. So now is distribution time. That's why, do you see how small the candles are on the 1 minute here? We had these big candles. So what you want to do is you think of a chart like this. This is the warehouse, and we loaded the trucks up with goods. This is the highway, and now we're going to distribute those goods for profit. So the chart is just a sales chart. It shows you where inventory was acquired and now where it's being distributed. It's all it is. It's like the world's largest used car lot, right? Real simple. You get cheap stuff from 65 to 72, load it in the trucks, take it up over 80, start selling. But you don't sell too much at the, you just kind of, you sell a little bit. You sell quietly, right? You don't want to scare the buyers away. As soon as you start selling aggressively, price goes down, right? So you want to sell as much as you can for the highest prices you can for as long as you can, right? And then rinse and repeat. Now, if they start running out of buyers here, they'll start dropping the price under 82 and a half. They'll start price competing to capture the buying under certain levels. Yeah, come check out the room. Willie, I promise you, right? If you come check out the room for a month, but don't just come in and come check out the room and message me when you're in the room, right? We'll have a conversation. If you want, I'll even get on the phone with you, right? And see how I can help you and build out a way for you to move forward, right? That's okay. That's good. That's good. I don't mind that. London Futures Trader, you've been on my streams now constantly for quite a while. You post a lot of stuff. I'm not sure how much you listen, though, my friend. It's tradingsyndicate.org. Just stick that in the browser, and there I am. Right? Listen, I got to give you a hard time. Right? If you're a trader, you'll laugh. Yeah. So we've got a constant seller at 85 and a quarter. Let's see if we could lift and get a print over 86. If not, we might have to put it on sale a little bit to bring in some buyers. Hmm? Sellers are still there. See, this is distribution. We got some nice inventory under 79, 75, 72, right? And we can just beautifully sell it here, right, for profit. That's what the wholesalers are doing right now. And there's some bids under 83 because every time the market gets down here, right? VWAP's at 86. Thanks, Moran. Once the market gets down to this level here, they just stop selling, right? I do not envy that, Dan. I hope you have a pleasant weekend, brother. Now that, Dan, is a bit above my pay grade. I'm not I'm not equipped to handle those situations. Like they used to say in the 80s, Dan, it might be Miller time for you. Do I use trade in my initiation? Dear God, no. No. The reason I don't use VWAP to initiate trades is because it's not a static reference, right? It is a reference that is not static. See how it moves? I use VWAP to get out of trades. See you, Omen. Have a good one. Right? So if I was long and I knew VWAP was here, that's where I'd be getting out of my situation, right? Hey, Phil, how you doing? Right? But I do not use it to initiate. I like fixed references to initiate. Then you're not shooting at a moving target. You know, we still have not left the range of 2 days ago, right? Which the high was 64.30 and change. The low was just where we came down and tested underneath our 64 low. I think it was like 62 or something. See, AZS, sell the fish, keep the money in your pocket, right? Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Go get into some trouble for me. I think it's a holiday in the UK on Monday, isn't it? Cool. That's good. Get a nice weekend. Just chill out. Let's see if we can creep past VWAP before we leave you. Howard, did you notice that the point of control never got a chance to move down? The reversal was so quick that we didn't spend any time down there. Kind of interesting. A little look above VWAP. There was some NVIDIA news? Okay, well. It's always something, right? There's always some reason. And the overnight POC moved a little bit, just down to 87. I guess Howard's gone. Oh, all right, folks. Well, thanks so much for being with me. If I don't see you in our RT8 session at 9, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy the sun. Mahalo, Cisco. Get some sleep, brother. Keeping everybody up in Hawaii, Kai, yeah? uh, we'll see you guys at 9 a.m. The rest of you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks so much for being with me. Come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org, and we will see you in a few hours. Trade safe out there, folks. Thank you. Bye for now.